Hello everyone and welcome to this new video tutorial. So basically today what we're going to do is to start texturing our headphones, and the first software I'll be working with is Adobe Photoshop. So let's jump into Photoshop. So right now here you've noticed that I imported my UV unwrap. It's in my Photoshop. I have it here as one layer. I assume right now that you have certain basics with Photoshop. If you don't, I'll be recording a couple of extra videos pretty soon. So now this is my UVs. The first thing that I'm going to do is that I will right click and duplicate layer, and I will name this one UV backup, and that's just in case I make any kind of a mistake, I paint on it, modify it and whatsoever. So now I'm going to select both of them, hit Control G so I can group them, and name this my UVs. After that I'll be working with three colors. I'll be working with red, black and white. So what I'm going to do is create a new layer by clicking the little plus here at the bottom. Let's name this one red, create a new one, name it white, and make a third one that I'm going to put in black. I will take the three of them, holding shift, hit Control G, and name this my colors. And after that we'll be working on the third group that is going to be stickers and text, etc. So now that I have my colors, I will begin with whatever I think I'm going to put in red. So in this area here I have the two little circles, that do represent my the exterior of my headphones. So there's various ways to do that. Right now I'm working with a very geometric shape, so I'll be working with selection tools and the paint bucket. So I came on top left here in my menu tool, selected a rectangle marquee and got that. After that I'm going to hit the letter G to select my paint bucket, get myself the proper color. It's already in red, and let's hit once. Now that it's done, I will try and select my two circles here. So I'm going to put my cursor in the center, hold Alt, and start scaling up until I cover up as much as I can out of that circle. If you hit the arrows on your keyboard, you can move your selection pretty easy. And I go back with the letter G and hit that in red. Now I don't want to reselect for this one because it's pretty much the same thing. So if I go back to my selection tool and either hold this selection, drag it and drop it here, or you can do it with the arrows, so that would be just pressing the arrow. If you'd like to be 100% sure you have the proper horizontal alignment, you just go with the arrows, but here it's not the case. I still can do it. So I'm going to select manually my selection and then readjust it using my my arrows. Hitting G, here's another color. So right now I have two parts that are colored, which is pretty cool. I don't like the bottom here, so hit the letter Z to zoom, hit the letter B to get a brush, and I'll just paint it manually here. There you go. You can go above the edge or outside of the edge, but as long as you don't touch another one, because if it's a different color it will impact it. So now I'm going to come over here. Let's turn this one into red as well. Probably stop around here using my arrows just to move it slightly up, and I think I'm fine. Hit the letter G now, and let's color this one as well. So as I said previously, I'll be working on the areas that I need to keep on black or red or white. So now I'm still working with my red. I know that this is the two little clips that are kind of holding my headphones together, and for this one I'll be doing again the same thing. Letter G, oops, not in black, I want it to be red. So all I have to do is to get myself my eyedropper, go with an eyedrop and select my red here, so I can go back with G, paint bucket, and turn that into red as well. Now what else do I have to make in red? I wanted to keep these parts as well in red. So I'm going to come very close here because I don't want to basically touch this one that is going to be black. So now I'm going to get myself another selection tool, and I will go with a Polygonal Lasso tool. Why? Because I just want to go around here very quickly. Try to get as close as I can to my piece without overlapping on the one next to it. So that looks pretty cool. The next one is red as well. So all of this area being red, I can put it all under the same piece, because whatever is black is basically going to be invisible, and it's not geometry that is covering completely my map, so I can do that very quickly. And oops, I'm sorry, this was a little too far. I should have stopped here. So let's do it again. Go straight, go quick. Because the most important part is this area where I will basically, oops, I'm sorry, let's zoom closer, it will be easier. H for the letter for the hand, and for my marquee tool I'll go with my lasso right here, like this. Let's redo what I did previously without losing my selection this time. We're getting close. Alright, stop here. We're getting close, we're getting close. Just a little bit more time here. Get it right. And here's my selection, which means that now if I hit G, go back to my paint bucket, Control Z, can't get it. Let's go get my eyedropper to be able to select some red here, like this. Let's go with I. Here's my eyedropper. Let's hit G for my paint bucket, and boom. Here's a new part. I believe this one should be part of the same selection. So let's hit M to get my rectangle marquee here. No, I'm not going to use my rectangle marquee, I'll use my lasso. And let's begin our selection. Alright. There we go. G paint bucket. And boom. Now I know this part here as the big piece that is on top of the headphones here. So I'm gonna hit it in red as well. So let's put it out, get my lasso tool, and I will begin here in the right side. Something like this. Here. Alright, G. Boom, it's in red. What else? What else am I going to put in red? Those are my wires, so they're going to be black for sure. So let's begin painting our black areas. So I'm gonna go to my black layer here. I have my rectangle marquee, and the first piece that I'd like to paint in black is basically my wires. Thank you. My selection. I'll slightly move it towards the left. Let's make sure I have the whole selection. I'm in my black selection here, so go change that to black. I'm not going to work with a pure black, so just grayish or decrease the amount of black slightly in my color to get it grayish. Hit the letter G, and my wires are painted. Let's go back to zoom, fit screen, and now I know this one is red as well, so let's go back to my red layer, get my selection tool, or I mean my rectangular marquee. Let's hit G. Oops, this is not black, but it's red, so I get my eyedropper, select my red, hit G, and boom, this one is red as well. Now let's turn off my selection and think about the remaining parts. This is the plug at the bottom, and these are the connections where I'm going to put my stickers. So as I said, this one is going to be red as well. So I'll be pretty much done with my red areas very soon. So I'm going to just put all of them in one piece. As I said, this is a very simple object. I don't have too many textures. I'll be working, as I said, only with colors and a few stickers. So we're not going to work a lot with bump maps, etc. This is a topic we'll probably discuss in future videos, because if I had to make a proper texture here, it would be about always having a diffuse map which represents your color, a bump map that will represent any bumps or kind of curving in a certain way, a specular map to define which areas will be more specular than other ones, and a couple of other maps. But we'll be mostly working right now with Arnold. So Arnold works in physically based rendering, which means you will have to work with real information about the material itself, such as IOR, which is the index of reflection and refraction. So we'll get back to that in the near future. Now as soon as I do that, I see errors here and there, so all I have to do is go get my brush. I'm still working in red, and get rid of this line here that I don't like. With my hand, let's take a look. Do I have another one there? No. Zoom, fit screen, and we're getting pretty quick here. Now this area will be black as well, because this is where I'm going to put probably later another texture to represent the foam, or kind of foam leather, depending on the headphones that you have. That makes kind of the cushion for your ear. So this one I will always select it from here, because I will make it by various pieces due to its position here. So I'm on a black layer selected. Let's go back to hit I for my eyedropper. So let's go back with I. Click here because I want the same black that I used on my wires. Now that it's selected, let's go with my paint bucket. I'm in my black layer. Let's do this, and after that I will keep my selection, use my arrows, the arrows on my keyboard, and drag that down so I make sure I'm not overlapping with that object on the left here. Alright, so let's go. Perfect. Paint the bucket, and let's go down until we finish this piece of geometry. Alright, so we're going to make this circle now. So for that, rather than a rectangle marquee, I'll do with an elliptical marquee. Holding Alt, I drag from the middle. There you go. Let's go in my paint bucket, and this one is done. Now I might take the selection and just drag it here, because this one is the other side. Paint bucket, and now I'll change my marquee from elliptical to rectangle. I'm able to do the same thing all along here, like this. Paint bucket, and my selection. Let's see if I can use this pre-made selection for the last part. Or is it going to be risky? Here's my paint bucket. I think I'm fine here. I will just get rid of this line right here. Let's go with my brush, eyedropper, pick some red, go to the red layer, go with my brush and get rid of this line that I don't like. And what is it that I still have here? So for this area, there is the plug. I'm going to use the same black. Get my eyedropper, select this guy, and I can do the whole piece in one shot here again. If the object is more complicated, if the object requires many details, and again if I had to paint that and add some extra textures, etc., I would be probably shaping whatever I'm texturing. But right now we are working with very basic geometry in 3D and here in 2D. So let's grab all of these little tiny pieces without overlapping on anything else that I did. Alright. Now let's go with my paint bucket. Now let's paint that. Alright, what else? Now the remaining will be probably and mostly white. So I'll do it very quickly. Go to my white layer here now. Go back to my selection tool. And I'm going to be making the two here. Holding shift. Oops, let's do Control Z. Let me zoom closer. Like this. Hold shift. And let's create another piece here. I'll do it in pieces. Let's hold shift again. Always do your selection going from the easiest part or orientation, because basically it's not going to change that much. Let's go to my white again. The same way I didn't use a pure black, I'm not going to use a pure white. Alright, here let's take a look at whatever we still have here. So now I'll go back to my lasso here. Let's go get the remaining parts so we can test what it looks like in Maya, and then we will be working on adding the stickers and whatever else we're gonna add. Let's go like this. Alright. Sorry. My paint bucket. Okay. Let's go to my lasso. Letter L on your keyboard. And again, this is where you can see the importance of the unwrap prior to getting to anything related to texturing. Again, the unwrap is the most important part of this whole process, because this is where everything begins, but this is where the definition becomes extremely important for what we're doing right now. I mean, a proper unwrap enables me to very quickly select the pieces that I want, modify them extremely quickly without having the impact of searching what I'm doing. So let's go with a quick look at what we did here. We're just missing finally just a couple of the tiny pieces. So again, I'll go with the easiest parts at the beginning, and then I'll work with the more complicated ones. This way I can get the hold of what I'm doing very quickly. Let's go back to my polygonal lasso. There you go, right here. making sure I do not overlap on the other piece of geometry. It's going to be black. Alright, perfect. And I still have these. So for this group, yeah, I'll go with putting them on Lasso. And we're done. Coloring pretty soon. Just a few hits again. Here I don't mind overlapping because it's going to be white on white. Like this, I'll hold Alt. Let's go get my elliptical lasso, hold Alt, just create a hole here. So like this, let's go get my paint bucket. Let's turn all of that into white. And I think I have most of my colors right now. So what we're going to do, let's save a JPEG. No, let's leave it like that. Yeah, let's leave it like that for now. So what we're going to do, we'll move on to the next part. So now I have my colors here, which means I can hide my UVs now. And to be able to hide my UVs, I have my UVs here. What I'm going to do, I'd like to have an idea about what it looks like. So I'm creating a new layer here. And this layer is probably whatever color I can put in the back to see whatever I have selected. Make that visible, and there you go, it's underneath. Now I said I was going to make my stickers, so I need to know where am I going to put them. To know where am I going to put them, I need to see my UVs right now. I have my colors here, so I'm going to hide my colors because I don't need them. And I will create my first stickers right here. So now that it's selected, I know that I need to put a piece here in that area. So let me verify on my Maya. No, it's on this one exactly. It's right here. So in this area here, on the red, I like to put my stickers. So let me go back to my stickers folder. So I just created a couple of stickers that I've got here. I'm going to use this one right now. So let's drag and drop. It's very simple. Now it's in my view. Hit enter. There you go. Now let's go to edit, transform, scale, and by holding alt I'm doing a proportionate scaling. Okay, let's do this. Let's drag it here, hit enter. Well, let's try to get closer and closer. I'll probably decrease its size, sorry, it was with alt, so I don't lose my proportions. And I will probably leave it here. Let's zoom on this guy. I will right click to rasterize my layer on the layer itself, and I will create a mask to hide this white here. So I'll use a new selection tool, which is the quick selection tool. And this one, well, I don't like that, so let's use another tool. Go to my magic wand, and boom, I selected the exterior. Let's hit on that little button here, sorry, Control Z. Now selected the exterior, go select, inverse selection, and hit mask, and I'll have my new sticker here. Maybe I will just decrease the size of my selection, so I would select, modify, contract by 1 pixel. I'm not going to go too much. There you go. And now I'm going to create my mask, get rid of that white line there. let's take this guy, duplicate layer, so it's a piece sticker, and let's add it to its counterpart on top. So I have it already selected, and I made a duplicate, so I'll use my arrows and I'll just move everything up to the other piece. Now it's in the opposite way. I'm going to stop probably around here, and then after that, when I was sent my texture to Maya, this is when I will basically maybe review the orientation where I might have made a mistake in my orientation or something like that. So I have my two pieces, and then I have here, I would like to put some text, as well as, let me see here, this one on top. I'd like to add another sticker. Alright, so I have those two are my piece stickers. Let's go both of them, hit Control G to group, and name that piece stickers. But then I want my group of piece stickers to be inside another group called stickers. So I select it, go to Control G, and I will name this one stickers. So this way, when I'll import the other ones, I'll import them inside this. So let's get my second sticker, and I think I'll be working with this one here. So I'm going to rotate it to fit with the proper orientation, my shape, drag it here, and let's see how it's going to fit. Hold Alt to select it. I'll use my arrows to readjust whatever I want it to be. Let's zoom that. Okay, great, and let's push it a little bit left or right. Okay, let me rasterize my layer, which means it's not anymore a smart object. Right click, duplicate layer, music wave. This one will be 01, and again using my arrows, I'll just move it towards the right, and after that I will readjust its height. Okay, it's taking too long, it's too easy, so let's get it here. Now let's try to readjust everything. Now if you're not sure about your adjustments, just get yourself a ruler here. I'll give you a pretty good idea where you're going. Now those two, let's hit Control G, and it's wave stickers. Great. And my wave stickers are going to be inside my stickers folder. Alright, what else do I have here? What I'm going to do now is I will add another image here, and I will be using my trans logo right here. Let's drag and drop it. Let's get it to fit there. That should be fine. So should be in my stickers here, so I can close you. Let's rasterize our layer here. There you go. And let me use my selection here. Select the white part, inverse. Let's create a mask. So now I have my new piece again here. And maybe decrease its scale. It seems to be a little too big, and I don't like how the mask did that. So let's keep it like this, and let's go to select, inverse, no, Control Z, select, modify. Let's contract that by 4 pixels and press OK. Now that it's smaller, it should be more interesting. I will scale it down a little more. So let's go modify and contract again by an extra 2. And I like that, which means that now if I create my mask, I should have something smoother. Or let's keep that selection. So I'm going to do select, modify. I'll go smooth my selection by 12 pixels, so now I should get something more rounded. That's a little too much. So let's do another part manually, like this. Perfect. Alright, now let me align that. create a cleaner selection. Right, like that, maybe. Let's do a little more here. Like this. This one. And maybe, sorry, I would like to get the Polygonal Lasso. Alright, now let me create my mask. That shouldn't be that bad for now. So I have it here. Yeah. Something like that. Let me unhide my colors. My colors here. I have my logos, my names. And let's take a look at how it's going to look in Maya. So let's go with a file, save as, and it will just create a JPEG here for us to test, and it will be here, headphones, diffuse, all one, because I might be making some other versions. Give it on the highest resolution. Alright, there you go. And now let's take a look at what is it that we've got in Maya. Alright, so I will go to change that in object mode. Let's go to my hypershade. Here I have my material image. I had my UV unwrap, but now I'm going to go get my textures here. And actually I kept them on my desktop inside my stickers folder, and it's headphones diffuse 1. Let's press OK. We already see it here. Let's take a look at our viewport. Let me turn off the wireframe, and we have our textures. Now, as I said previously, this one is in place, but this one is upside down, and its counterpart, and this is upside down. So what I'm going to do is to go back to Photoshop, and that's the reason why you work with different pieces. I'll go to my stickers. What is this one? This is trans. So let me put it in a group as well and name it trans. Alright, so now I'd like to work on the piece stickers. So let's get to the first one. And let's go with edit, transform, rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So we'll maybe adjust its position, try to center it. Perfect. Now I'll take this one, again, same thing, edit, transform, 90 degrees counterclock. And let's maybe try and get it as much as I can. That should be, according to me, the center. After that, I will go to my wave sticker, sorry, right here. Let's go with fit screen, and let's go one by one. Select this guy, edit, transform. Now I'm going to go 90 clockwise, and select this one, edit, transform, 90 clockwise. Let's go to file, save as. This one's going to be my second one now. As I said previously, work with versions, so whatever you can do, whatever mistake you might do, you can go back to a previous version. So this one is my second one. Fantastic. Let's go back to here. Let me close my UV editor. I'll look very quickly what's going to happen. I go to my hyper shade, which is right here. Let me decrease the size. You can see it. So those are my headphones. So let me go import my second UV, diffuse. Now this one is okay, but I don't really like the hands position. My upside down. Now it looks down here. That means that this is not the bottom. That means that I should do this. So hit edit, transform, and I'll give it another counterclockwise. File, edit, transform 90 counterclockwise. And let's hide this and hide that. Let's go with a file, save as. I'm going to go to my first one. Thank you. Let's go like this. Let's go back to Maya. Now let's re-import number one this time. Pressing OK. And so far, that looks pretty cool. They are a little offset, but we can adjust that very quickly. Let me take a look at my geometry here. Like this. And let's go back to Photoshop, because you and you get here. Alright, let's redo our process. File, save as. It was a JPEG right here. I went from 2 to 1. Now I'll go back from 1 to 2. Save, I know you already exist. And let's go import our new diffuse here. And it became headphones 02. Press OK. Kind of still offset, so that means I need to go to the complete opposite way. Right here. See my UVs. The crazy opacity of my color here. Alright, I see it. So close here. And this is where pretty much my center should be. Alright, fantastic. Let me bring back my colors to 100% opacity. Hide my UVs. Let's go to file, save as again, and this time we will be turning that back to 1. Save, yes, the larger version. Let's come back to Maya. Let's reopen my diffuse map, get my number 1, and boom, there you go. Let me hide my hypershade, and you see that right now we textured our headphones, or we colored our headphones. We didn't texture that much yet. If I go to my tools here, let me put back my smoothing groups, and here is our headphones colored using Adobe Photoshop. And basically this is what our map now looks like in Photoshop. So let's go back to zoom, fit screen, and here's the jump. So thank you very much for following. Have a good day, and talk to you in the next video. Thank you.